Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. So this is a very interesting energy that we have here today. I'm going to throw more cards on top of this. I just wanted to get the foundation of what it is that I'm actually feeling, because it felt a little too similar to yesterday's message for me. And I'm seeing that it's not. I just needed to feel it out. So I'm already tuned in. We're going to get into this. So what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing that somebody has had a new beginning. This may be a beginning that has been taking place for a little while, or it may be a new beginning that's recently happened. But either way, this person is not the same person who they were before, right? So someone here has had a new beginning. And in this particular collective, it does feel like there was a huge emphasis on our solar plexus. In other words, our confidence, gaining our own sense of value, our own self-esteem, our own self-efficacy, maybe even doing a lot of inner child work in order to give us this new beginning. So we do have this Seven of Swords that's showing up. What this is telling me is that there was a lot of self-sabotage in the past, and a lot of sabotage coming externally from the past as well. We may have dealt with a lot of really manipulative people, or people that lied to us, and we may have lied to ourselves in some ways. We see that a lot when we keep trying to give people the benefit of the doubt when we already know the answer. You know what I mean? So someone here has worked through all those types of energies, whether it's in regards to other people or if it's other ways of self-harming, because self-harm can take all sorts of different forms. Here with the Seven of Wands, it shows that we had a conflict with it for some time, and then eventually with the Two of Swords, we decided to cut it away. I do think that whoever I'm reading for in this collective, we had a lot of lessons about how to treat ourselves and how we deserve to be treated. And so I love that this is the energy that we've already gone through, and that we are kind of in this rebirth stage here. Someone is in the early stages of the rebirth stage, so within the first few years, and this is a time of really big potential. And you may have had amazing things happen to you, but there's more. That's really the message that's coming through, is that there's so much more. We have this Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles. So whoever I'm reading for, with the Page of Wands sitting beneath the Seven of Swords, this is telling me that early on in our life, anytime we had things that we wanted to do, time we had dreams, or we had things that we were passionate about, there was always voices around us that basically told us that we weren't good enough, that we couldn't do it, or maybe when we failed, instead of being there and supporting us through that failure, what they would say is, "Oh, I told you you wouldn't be able to do it." Things like that, the thing. And this is something that this collective has had to really get themselves past, right? We've had to heal that. We've had to heal the insecurities that are kind of seeded by that kind of interaction in our lives when we're young. We have this Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles is sitting underneath this Seven of Wands. So what this is telling me is that we had to fight to basically have any kind of identity or any kind of will of our own. And this is something that we are currently working on in terms of building something inside of our 3D for ourselves. And this may have been a struggle. You may have still gone through feelings of feeling like you have to fight and defend what's yours, and you have to kind of keep everybody at bay. And here with this King of Wands beneath this Two of Wands, it's only when you really cut ties, or when you really cut certain things out of your life, that you are able to step up into your power. The King of Wands is a very dynamic character. I love that he's the one at the end of this series here before we pull some more cards, because what it means is that somebody here is really sitting in their sovereignty. This might be the quest for you, is to actually establish your own personal sovereignty. This is where we're not afraid to make our own choices. We're not afraid of being wrong anymore, because we've healed that wound. We're not afraid of making the wrong choice, because we understand that our choices lead us to our experiences, and then we gain more tools to take with us along the way. So I love this. When we have the King of Wands, one thing I will say about him is he's not afraid of burning people. He's not afraid of burning bridges in order to protect his kingdom. And so this is kind of similar to a Queen of Swords energy for me, and that the Queen of Swords will cut someone's head off if they approach her wrong, right? She's got one hand out and she has a sword in the other. She's very motherly, very nurturing still, but she does it in a very logical, matter-of-fact way, right? The King of Wands is very passionate, and he protects those passions. So he's very good at directing his willpower with that staff, and he rules with an iron fist. So someone here has really cultivated themselves into this character. There may have been a point in our life, I think, that with this energy, many people inside this collective probably overextended and overgave. And that's what confused me and made me feel like it was a little too similar to yesterday's message, but I do feel the difference in it now. Yesterday's message may have resonated for you, so that will be linked at the end of this video. Let's see. Okay, 2 cards. Okay, yeah. And then here, there's that King of Swords. Okay, so you have a lot of swords. There's a lot of clarity, cutting through the BS, getting rid of toxic habits and patterns, and really just starting clean, right? One thing about the blade is that it cuts through things. And here with the Ace of Swords, there's something that we had to get very clear on with ourselves in the past in order to begin to effect this change. This can sometimes speak to me about understanding where that fine line is, right? Where there are other people's responsibilities and then your responsibility. There's the things that other people have going on in their lives and their own issues and their own like circus, and then what's yours. It's where somebody has gotten very clear on that, because I feel that with this sort of energy that the Seven of Swords is giving me right now, it's like you had a lot of voices in your ear always telling you it's you, it's you, it's you. And someone here had to say, maybe it's you sometimes, and taking responsibility for ourselves, as well as understanding that some things just aren't our responsibility. Someone went through that entire cycle and that entire lesson. This is the lesson that I feel someone is just wrapping up now. And so I like this because we're going to get into what's actually taking place now. It feels like between the Seven of Wands, which is fighting for what it is you believe in, the Two of Swords, cutting something out, the Page of Pentacles, starting something new in the 3D and for yourself, for your life, and then moving into this King of Wands, who's really dynamic and very passionate. It's all surrounding this King of Swords energy. Someone here has had to tone the empathy down a little bit, right? Someone has had to take back their caring energy just a little bit, not to an unhealthy proportion. I don't feel that the King of Swords is ruling here. I feel that it's the King of Wands. The King of Swords is just a little bit of the element that had to come in order to bring this balance, to put us into the King of Wands energy. The King of Swords is about truth. The King of Swords is about logic. The King of Swords is learning how to box up that heart space a little bit and start thinking from a rational space in order to understand what it is that we need to do on a practical level to get to where we want to be, to get to our happiness for some of you, to get to success for some of you. And so we had to introduce this King of Swords sort of energy where we started thinking more than we were feeling. And that's not always bad. I know people in the spiritual community are like, that's terrible. No, it's absolutely not terrible. It's absolutely not terrible. It's one way that we ensure that we have appropriate boundaries, right? It's one way that we start to learn what's right, what's wrong, what we're responsible for, what we're not responsible for. It requires a heavy dose of logic and thinking through things from a mental space. And this is something that somebody has embodied. Maybe you even embodied that completely for a little while, allowing your feeling state to shut down just a little bit. That can be a sign of healing, right? And someone here has had an introduction with this King of Swords to bring them into this King of Wands, whatever the storyline is. So now I am pulling from, what am I pulling from? Okay. So now let's get the energy. We're not, okay, yes, the big energy. Okay, the big energy. That's what we're getting. The big energy. Oh, we're back to the Seven of Wands here. And the Seven of Wands is laying on the Seven of Wands, and it's laying on top of the Seven of Swords. That's how I'm feeling that this needs to be. And so we may be recognizing other areas of our life where there may be some self-sabotage energy, and we may be starting to fight against that a little bit. There's a different energy coming in here, though, and this energy feels a little bit like we're looking at it from a psychic energy point of view. It feels like someone here is really assessing things, maybe inside their energy system here. Those remind me of the 7 chakras every time I see them. And someone here is trying to get out the traces of something. There are little habits that are just residual from our past, right? They may be things that we did or we incorporated into our lifestyle in order to help us move past these things, and now we're wrapping up this stuff too, right? This is very interesting energy, because there also seems to be something inside the mind space that we're kind of struggling with in terms of something that we're trying to call in with the 3 of Cups. So we may be trying trying to figure out whether something in some way that we're trying to call something in. So it seems like a goal that we have. It seems like maybe something that we've had our eyes set on for some time. Somebody here who has gone through this whole cycle and learned all these lessons, they're trying to think, is this a residual of all that? Is this still part of that same cycle? This may have to do with love for some people. This may have to do, I'm just going to say that, with love, but it might not be love. The lovers can mean a lot of things. It can mean a choice. It can mean a love relationship. It can mean somebody that we're trying to call in. It can mean something that is the opposite counter to us. So for example, if you're somebody that's really creative, maybe you're trying to call in something that's a little bit more logical, right? So this could be like an office job. It could be, things like that. It's something that is a little bit opposite to what we are. There's something here that we're trying to call into us, and we're getting stuck in our head a little bit and a little confused about, am I really doing the right thing here? Because I feel like I'm using the power of the King of Wands, but I'm a little worried that what I'm actually doing is that I'm still doing whatever it was here in the past. Okay. Now, I'm getting a very interesting message here. And the interesting message that's coming out here is that part of the reason why this seems to be, and we have the sun again. So I feel that this sun goes over here. Okay, that's very specific. Okay, so in the Temperance card. So here's the thing, right? In the past, this cycle, this thing that we used to do, this thing we used to be part of, we might have been really worried about it. And, or we might be really worried about revisiting that here in something that we're doing currently. If what you're doing currently isn't taking you out of your energy. So for example, if it's not something that you're obsessing with, if it's not something that's causing you to put things that you love and that you enjoy down for it, if it's not something that is making you lose sight of the big picture and of the feeling state that you're trying to get yourself to, there may not be anything wrong with this. Obviously, everybody's going through something different. This is going to speak to a wide collective of people. That's the only advice I can actually give about this, and it's something that is coming through in this Temperance card, because the Temperance card is when the external starts to greatly influence the internal. That's why the Temperance card leads to the Devil. There is a process of some kind of refinement or alchemy that's taking place here. Which way this energy goes for you is going to determine whether it's revisiting something from the past or if it's a new version of something that can take you to a lot of success here in this King of Wands energy. I almost feel that someone here is trying to manifest something for themselves, and that's what this is about. We may be trying to manifest something, and in that manifestation somewhere, we're a little worried that we're exhibiting behaviors from before. And so that, again, is what I'm seeing. If it's not obsessing you, if you're not like losing parts of yourself to it, if you're not giving power away, if you still feel like you're in your personal sovereignty and you aren't so attached that you're going to crumble if this thing doesn't happen and it winds up bringing in something that's maybe better for you. If you feel that you could recognize if something better for you comes in, then I think that you're okay, right? Again, this cycle can mean a lot of different things. That's what I'm getting out of it. I will read this for anybody who that isn't necessarily resonating for. Again, we're in a current energy of having to fight for ourselves or having to defend something. We seem to be a little confused. It may be something that we're daydreaming about, so something that we're trying to call in. There is a celebration energy here with the Three of Cups, so this may be something that we're really happy about. It does seem to be something with a love relationship or something where a choice was involved, and it does look like a choice that maybe other people didn't necessarily agree with if there are other people involved, but it's a choice that we felt like we needed for our own evolution, right? And then here with I noticed that my heart space itches. So I keep itching my heart space, and I feel like that is related to this love thing. Somebody here might be itching for love. Maybe it's something like that. And so you may be a little worried that what you're doing is counter to the energy that you should be displaying for it, right? So you might be worried that you have a lack energy. You're the only one that can identify that, right? Do you feel lack? Do you feel like you're waiting around? Do you feel like you're pining? Or are you like really clothing yourself in the emotions of, I have this thing and I'm worthy of this thing. It's cool, you know? That's when we start to attract things, is when we're in that energy of, you know what? It's like I already have it. Here what we have is we have the Four of Cups. If this is the case and you are in that energy, what I'm seeing is the Four of Cups. Something comes in quite unexpectedly. I don't look at the Four of Cups as like not noticing something because we're distracted when it's in this context. What I'm seeing is that somebody was so focused on this thing over here, trying to manifest this thing, this Three of Cups, right? There's 3 cups on the bottom of the 4. Here. Oh, they picked up. So 3 of Cups, and then the 4 of Cups, right? So there's 3 down here he's paying attention to, these 3. And he's like, yeah, that would make me really, really happy. And then all of a sudden another cup comes out of nowhere. And I think that's what's going to happen for somebody here. We've really started a new sort of like focused willpower path, and we're manifesting. You might be noticing that. You might be noticing that, you know, everything that I need starts to happen. Everything starts to align for me. That's really what happens when we start to stop self-sabotaging ourselves, when we, you know, release energies that do, when we start getting into ourselves and really doing that self-work to figure out exactly who we are, what we want, what our responsibility is, what it's not, and, you know, really kind of living in that very aligned state. We start to manifest things with sometimes not even realizing that we do. And somebody here, you seem to be trying to defend a manifestation or something that you are trying to call in. And it's like fighting for your right to have love. That's how it feels here. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be love. But it feels like something is coming in, and it does feel like it's something that really aligns, because we have the Sun and the Sun, and this Sun is something that this King of Wands got. And again, the King of Wands is whoever I'm reading for, because we are in this energy. The King of Wands is the master manifester. He directs his willpower with that wand, right? And here what we have is the Sun. He's creating something new in his life, something vibrant, something abundant. But it's interesting because over here what we have this inner child, and some of you, again, you had to do inner child work. This inner child, I feel like, is the inner child that we were working with. This is the inner child that we are currently operating out of. It's this very vibrant, abundant inner child. And so there's something here that we are attracting that mirrors that abundance and that inner child quality back to us. Let's see, I'm going to pull one card from this deck. Some of you may be seeing signs of this taking place right now. We have the Mike the Myomancer, and so you might be hearing songs that align with the things that you're trying to call in. You might just be seeing more messages on YouTube about it. You might be hearing friends talk about it. You may have had somebody say, oh, hey, like, you know, I thought you got whatever. And you're like, oh, no, that hasn't happened yet. You know, maybe you're having dreams about it. I do want to say for somebody, this is coming in very strongly. If you are trying to manifest, for example, somebody who is a good partner for you, it does feel like you're starting to have dreams of various people possibly, and that individual has actually, the individual that you're going to wind up attracting has had dreams about you. The reason why you're dreaming about different people is because all these different people are right for you, right? We don't have just one person out there that's right for us. But this it's almost like, yeah, this is an energy you align with, this is an energy you align with, this is an energy you align with. And one of them is going to appear before others, right? And so then you get to choose, do I want this person, do I want that person, what's happening here? One thing about attracting things and being in alignment with things, we don't have to take the first thing that comes to us, right? And this is especially true with people. We should definitely get to know people and understand if, you know, if this really is our best alignment. Just because we call it in doesn't mean that it's something that we genuinely want. And so what I'm seeing here is I do think that somebody with that Four of Cups, I have another energy that's coming in. Yeah, you are going to realize that, I do think whoever this is, you are going to realize that you may not know everything in the beginning. And so you're going to take the time to get to know whoever this person is, if it is a person. If it's something like a job opportunity, then same. You're going to take your time to kind of learn about what this job is, look into it, understand the company, understand what they're actually offering and bringing to the table before you jump on board, right? And this is part of what somebody has learned. They've learned not to take everything at face value. We have the godmother here, the fairy godmother, and she's really about that choice that's mirrored here in the Lover's card. Do we take the temptation or do we take the pearl? Sometimes you have to do a little bit of digging to find that pearl. And this is what we seem to be wanting to carry with us into the future. And so this is fairies of the future. So it's really about, you know, somebody here, because you have kind of overturned your life, you've stepped into a new energy for yourself. It feels like you have learned particular lessons that now you're starting to magnetize things to you. And I think that whoever this message is for, you've learned the lesson not to take the first thing. And so what's happening here is you're going to have a series of things coming towards you, and you will have the opportunity to make a choice between them and pick the one that's right for you, the one that is the pearl, and that you can carry with you into a future, so that this is the energy that you can maintain inside of your life. That beautiful King of Wands energy combined with the Sun. This is where he gets his strength from. This is how he gets his vitality. So I'm going to leave this here. If this resonated for you, please hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to check out the classes in the description box if there's any more left by the time I post this. And until next time.